Thank you, everyone, for your time today. And also, thank you so much for your business. We do truly appreciate it here at Imagine It, and we do want to make sure that you're getting the most from the Productivity Now platform. And that's what really we want to cover today is just a reminder and maybe point out things that you didn't know, or maybe you said, you know what, I had this, but I didn't know it did this. So we really do, encourage use, and we want to make the transition from our offices to our home offices easier. If you're able to work independently, you're able to search and find what you're looking for. It's a little different. Everyone's living in a little different world today. So we see this as a ongoing professional development platform and a what you need when you need it. So really today's presentation isn't going to necessarily be on every little aspect. I just want to go over more what's new in it, what's been happening, and cover, just some basic things. As you all know or should know is the search. It's all in one at the top. That is what you need when you need it. If you're looking down to the lower left, this is a standard or Productivity Now standard platform look. We've gone to a light version of it where you can go to the bottom lower left over here and you'll see where I highlighted the Pinnacle Light training. And that's really where your standard users are able to do self-enrollment, go find any kind of training under the Autodesk or other platform, Bluebeam, Inkscape, all these here are standard out-of-box offerings, including under the Autodesk Cloud for Assemble and Building Connected and PlanGrid also. Those are fairly new. The idea here, you're able to self-enroll, as I mentioned, go in. We're already starting to populate 2021 version. And we're excited because we've actually listened to you and gone to more of a university style where you have 101s and 201s. So you have different levels. And now you can assign 101 or self-enroll in all this as a standard user and go through it and just learn the basics, or continue on 102, 103. As you go through these different progressions, you will see that you're learning more and more advanced features and topics inside of AutoCAD. Same thing with Revit, Civil 3D. We're following this format now for all of our courses. The idea of 201 is this is what used to be the advanced course material. Now it's 200 series. We're very excited about this because this has been what we have been requested from customers, and we're listening and we're doing changes and making it what you want it. And that's what Productivity Now has always been, is about you. The other thing with the Productivity Now standard that is really new today is the ability to manage your own users. This has always been done, by us, and we've been happy to, but now with the request from our users and our companies that we work with and our customers here, we really listen, and now you can do your own user setup. If I have a company of 5, I have the maximum allowed as 5 or 10 or 15, 20, whatever it may be, but you're able to add your own user. You're able to put them in, make them an administrator if you want them to be able to get to the gear here, or email the instructions on how to create their account with their own code that they can create their own password. So you can automatically do this as you set them up. Very easy, very simple. You can always come back in and change what they are, or if they need to be an administrator later, you can actually delete them and add another one if they happen to leave the company. Re-email them instructions if you wish, but all the management of the individuals on your tenant for your company, you are now able to manage those users in the standard type platform. That is something new. The next thing is the branding and customization. You're also able to change the themes, add your own logos, put in different colors and fonts all the different things that make it look like your company. You can now do that in our standard platform. So the Productivity Now standard allows us now, along with layouts and assignments. If you don't see it today, it should be very shortly that we're able to, get your platform switched over. We're doing it slowly and migrating the existing ones right now. Excuse me. The enable custom layouts, you can choose the default, or you can create a new and blank one, or from the selected. So if you want to copy, basically, or clone this one, if you want to do that, you then have your own layout that you can start bringing in or moving things around or turning things off. All the different things you want to do, you can do that now. So that's very nice. Now, if you like the standard layout, then great. We hope you do. We've listened, and that should work for you. But now you can move things around. You can change colors, and that's very exciting. So those are really the main things for standard, along with the up and coming live events. This is new also. We've been putting all of the live lecture series on our imagineit.com website. And here recently, in the last few weeks, we started integrating it into the Productivity Now platform. So now you're able to look at all of these different courses that are live lectures from either Eagle Point or Imagineit Technologies and attend them. If you do miss them, they are put into our live lecture series under the Imagineit Technologies, and you can watch them later. But as a user, if I want to attend the Creating MEP Systems, I can register. It will send me an Outlook invite and attend this live. And it's 45 minutes with 15 minutes of question and answer with a Revit MEP specialist, one of our instructors. So that is new as well. So now we have what we call our blended learning, where you have e-learning, ongoing professional development, and now you have live lectures that you're able to attend or watch later. We're very excited about this because now you have the best of both worlds. We're trying to make this as normal as it used to be, attending classes all the time in a course or, in a classroom for the course. One, negative of it that I always heard was it's a lot of information in a little time. One great thing about ongoing professional development and small, bits of information, you retain them much more. So that is exciting for us, is that we are really kind of with the curve, let's say, for everything going on. We have a platform, and you have access to this platform, is what's very exciting, is you can use this today. I'm going to switch over to our professional version of our Productivity Now. And this was, everything in the ones that I've talked about here. Most of the things, other than going to the gear, you can manage users, you can do everything in professional, and you can do everything that I showed so far in professional. It's just a little different. So I'm going to jump over to our, login here that I have for a professional version. And in here, we'll start talking about, if you have the professional version, then you have, to begin with, my work groups. The work groups you can do internally and now externally. So if you work with subcontractor companies, you can create one or multiple work groups or shared folders here, as I call them, and add assets. You can add these assets, whether it be a project workflow, maybe it's one you created through the managed content of the administrator utility. You can also put in training. Maybe it's BIM 360 or Civil or some chapter in Revit or AutoCAD, something that pertains to a job that you're doing with a subcontractor, and you want to keep them trained and, on the same page with the same workflows. You can also assign the learning to those individuals, whether it be individual members or just everyone, and be able to assign a learning. And then also set up a due date. just like you would internally. So that's very exciting. You can also have discussions, and also in here, you can manage the users in a way for external companies. So now I can say, I want Stewart PO5 company to have 3 access licenses so that they can manage 2 extra. This person as a manager will have one, plus they can invite 2 of their own people themselves. You don't even have to manage that anymore. When you're done working with a company or you're done with that project, you can remove these and invite another company. Very powerful when you talk about using your ProductivityNOW beyond your users and into your subcontractors or people that work with you on projects. Now you are all on the same page, the same learning, the same standards and workflows. Very, very helpful. They also can see the dashboards if you choose, or you can see how are they doing on the learning, as well as we have additional reports in our learning reports here or the work groups. So that's very nice. Down at the bottom, you'll see a couple additional learning paths, or report charts that you'll be able to see what they were doing. The next thing that you want to look at that we are talking about with new and additional things here recently we've added in is the personal live events. Not only can you see the live events from the customer or from Imagineert or Eagle Point, you can now see live events from the, one moment here, internal perspective. So I can go in here and create some that are maybe for just a lunch and learn on doors and windows, or advanced doors and windows. And you can set up a prerequisite so that anyone who attends your live event has to have gone through and passed the Revit fundamentals, all that course material. You can do that. You can set it up for a URL or a training room 1. You can limit time, of signing up. You can assign or invite people to attend, and you can limit the session size. You can add additional information like what are we going to be covering, any registration, food or anything like that that might be served, or tracking the attendance, and a survey at the end. So a lot of great features in here. This is only the beginning though. We just rolled this out as the first version. And so we are already adding and have gotten feedback on many, many, additional features that people want. As I mentioned, you can invite or assign people to your live events, and they can self-enroll then, or, you basically have to go. The next thing I want to look at is the ability to auto-enroll is really big. So in the past, you've been able to assign learning. And there is a little twist to this assign courses now in the learning, is I used to have to go through multiple times and assign multiple different courses or learning paths. Like in this instance, I could only assign part 1, and then I'd have to go back through and assign part 2. And that's not the case anymore. I can now say, I want you to do part 1, I want you to do part 2. And then, for example, I always use is, I'm going to go to 2020 specialized. I want you to jump into Civil 3D Essentials then. And I'm going to assign that again to either a group or a user. So a lot of great little things that we've fit and finished. And again, listening to our customers, that's how all of this comes about. In here, we have another new feature, and that's auto enrollment. These are powerful. I can say anyone in a particular group. So if you've set up groups like standard user, or maybe it's engineers, architects, or interiors, anything like that, you can auto enroll them. So anyone who is added after the fact, you can put them into an auto enrollment and not have to go through and assign it every time someone's hired or moves into a new department. They automatically get the training that they need. So the auto enrollment is very powerful. It gives us that ease of an administration. If you've ever heard me talk about Productivity Now, one of the most powerful things that I look for and try to keep at the top of the priority list is ease of administration. I want to make this easy for everyone. So there's a lot of really neat new tools in here that really help you with your daily adding of courses and setting up people and really blending in your even live events that you're able to say do lunch and learns, invite external company contractors. We're just listening. And that's where today, I don't want to go through every little part of this, but I wanted to point out some of the big features and things that maybe you've missed or haven't used yet. Excuse me. So what I want to do now, Kelsey, is I want to look at, are there any questions or anything that I can answer? Because I want to make this interactive. There's a lot of things out there that people don't realize are in the system because it does so many different things.
Yeah, so I'm seeing one question. Give me 1 second just to make sure I can fully view it. All right. So the first question from Christopher says, internal event calendar tied to Office 365.
Yeah, so when you assign or when you create an event and someone self-registers, it will create an ICS file email to that person. So they can open that ICS, which is a calendar, a generic calendar event itself, and they'll be able to add it to their 365 or their Outlook calendar. Now we are looking at advancing that to a more integrated into 365, but phase one was able to get the ICS file. But yes, we are working on more advancement and more integration. Very good question. Please, if you have any questions or any thoughts or anything that you're really not sure of today, even things I brought up today about new features, please use the chat and we will be happy to answer, because that's part of this session is really I wanted to have where I just answer a lot of different questions.
All right, our next one is from Ned, and they're asking, do you have any course for NX CAD, computer aided design software?
No, we don't today. What I can do is look at who develops and publishes that courseware. What we do, if you look on the lower left of my screen, you'll see all of the different asset libraries that we actually have today. Not all of them are out of box or in the standard package or professional package. They're additional, such as Adobe, Bentley, Business and Management Skills, Health and Safety, McNeil, Microsoft, and SketchUp. Those are all additional. But what we have done is gone to the publishers of that software who publish the official guides and asked them to license through our tenant. So we could look at NX and see if they are willing to work with us on publishing to this site. So let me check on that. I will add that. We are always talking to more and more publishers. Great feedback.
Awesome.
Any
Another
others?
question?
Yes, please.
Oh yeah, we've got a couple.
Great. Awesome.
We've got one from Michael, and they're asking, can we upload custom content to our library, such as recorded videos?
Yes. So if you have the professional version, you have the access to this administrative tool. The standard Productivity Now standard does not allow it, but our professional version does. So if you go into the management utility and then manage content, you are able to upload documents, such as Word, PDF, Excel, or upload videos, and probably a dozen different formats. I mean, every video content format I've ever seen, or pretty much all of them, are available to be uploaded. So if you look at new video, I'm just going to add it into this new folder. You'll see there's quite an extensive list of types of video that you can do. I guess I lied, there isn't a dozen, but there's a lot. Pretty much all of them, the WAV through MPEG through MP4, all of them, AVI, movie, very extensive that way. I mean, as far as what you use today. So yes, you can. And once you do that, you can also translate or transcribe them into, words, so that it is, it's AI doing it, and you may have to edit a little bit, but it does pretty well. So yes, you can, if you have the professional version. Very good. Kelsey.
Awesome. Our next question is, can you expand on what's available to people outside of in-house members? And we've got another question that I think is related. Are links to specific content sent, or are we able to access the entire areas? What are the limitations of unregistered users?
So if you're talking about, and I assume both of them are the work groups and the subcontract, like this one right here, I made this up, I just called it subcontract company A or whatever it is. But any content in the system, a video, a workflow, a learning path, a document, anything, all of that information, they are not links. They actually get invited, and they will see a skimmed down version of this site. They won't see all the additional training like you do for an internal user. They will only see the content that you have put into this folder. So it's like going onto your network and seeing what files are in the folder, such as a PowerPoint or a video or whatever it may be. Anything that you add to this folder, they will see, and they'll see a view similar to this, where they're able to watch and self-enroll, or you can assign it, as I said, but they will not get links to it. They will physically log in and be able to interact with the system, just like your users, as far as going through a course. And that is any content in the system. Okay.
All right, our next question. Let me see here. Okay, so this person is saying, we are coming over from the Pinnacle side. Are the two platforms getting blended? I noticed some of the features are the same, but some are missing. And that's from Christopher.
Okay, so ProductivityNOW is based on and runs on the Pinnacle series platform. So in theory, there should be no differences. It only should have additional features, such as the Ascent courseware, the additional learning from Imagine It Technologies, and all our additional videos and white papers and knowledge base articles and live learning, the live events. Also, the technical support is through our Imagine It Solution Center, and that's a couple dozen people that all they do is technical support. I think they're up to 20, not quite 2 dozen, but I think they're up to like 20 people that all they do is technical support, frontline, what's wrong with the software, what's wrong with the courseware, why doesn't it work, or why is it giving me an error. So there should be, and that's something you can email me directly at tstewart@rand.com, or reach out to your account manager. If you're not seeing certain features or things like that you did before, it could be that it was a different, not the web version, and it may not be available in the web version when you were using the in-app version, they call it. So please reach out and let me know. I'll try and answer all those questions that you are possibly missing something.
All right, our next question comes from Jessica, and she asks, can we add SCORM content?
So SCORM is one that can be added, but it's something that you need to work with myself on because we have to add it through the back end. The reason that SCORM is not, a direct import today is that it's like the Wild West out there. There's a lot of different SCORM formats, so you have to massage it to get it into any learning management system. They're not all standard. So if you do have some SCORM that you want to bring into your Productivity Now, then please reach out to me directly. Again, T.Stewart at imagine it or at rand.com. What am I talking? I can't even think today. So it's TSTUART if you want clarification, but please reach out. And yes, we can bring SCORM in. It's just we do it through the back end, so it's better.
All right, and we've got a question from Hugh. It says, my asset library looks different than what the presenter is showing. Is that part of a subscription package or part of their subscription package?
Correct. So by default, I'll show you my other screen. By default, these are what you will see. It is the Autodesk Construction Cloud, Bluebeam, Inkscape, Ideate, Imagineit, Lumion. This is the light standard version. Using Productivity Now and V-Ray. That is what comes out of box or standard subscription for Productivity Now. What I am showing in my professional version in my demo account are all of the libraries. And these are ones that you can subscribe to, but they are additional cost for Adobe or Bentley or business management skills and health and safety. What else was there? McNeil, Microsoft, and SketchUp.
Awesome. Our next question from Michael says, is the management utility, or does the management utility have redundancies from the browser admin utility? It seems as though you can manage users from 2 locations now, and then they said the browser would be more convenient.
So yes, it would be. The first stage of integrating the browser and management utility into the browser is through this one with the standard users, okay? The Pinnacle Light platform. Our vision and what we plan to do is actually get rid of the management utility at some point. We want everything in browser experience. That is our goal, but it's a lot of code change and a lot of rewrite. This was a first phase of getting managed users into the browser, and we have it in our Pinnacle Light version, which is the Productivity Now standard platform that you would be familiar with. So in the standard, that was phase 1 to bring that management into it. We do plan to have more, next phase is to take this administrate users right here into the browser. That is the plan. It just has not been rewritten because when you start talking about the professional version, there's a lot of additional, because we only have 1-by-1 addition in the gear and the managed users today. We don't have the sync with Active Directory written or the SSO or any of the other things. So yes, we're working there. We're working towards that, but there's a lot of code.
All right, we've got just 2 more questions.
Okay.
This person is saying that they're not seeing the gear icon in their Productivity Now, and they're assuming that they have standard as they only have 5 users. Is that something that's only available with Pro?
So no, that's one that I kind of mentioned. I'm going to reiterate that is we are flipping everyone over to having that. That is in progress right now. We're working with the developers to change everyone's platform. So previously, you would ask us to change users for yourself. We are now implementing that new change, but we are doing it slowly. We're doing it a little bit at a time because it takes a little bit of work to get someone to change their the underlying platform over to the new version. So stay tuned. It will be there. It's just, I would say, give us a week here or so, and I'm guessing, and you should see it. Until then, please just email ProductivityNOW@rand.com, and they'll be happy to do any user changes, but it's coming. It is very soon.
Awesome. All right, our next question from Jody. I think this actually might be a question for me. How quickly are the live sessions added for later viewing? Jody, if you're referring to the live lecture series, we try to have them up there within a week. Sometimes if we have one of our technical experts, maybe they want to add something, or maybe they want to redo a part of the presentation to make it more comprehensive, it might take a little bit longer, but typically we get those up within a week. All right, our next question, is there a plan to implement SSO with KnowledgeSmart?
I don't know, but I'm going to find out. That's a great question. Let me talk to the owners of KnowledgeSmart. I talk to them weekly. So let me find out what their plans are. And please, again, tstewart, STUART @rand.com. Please send that over to me, and I will get back to you. And I will also see if Kelsey can also do that.
Yeah, I was going to say we also will send out a recording of this, and we'll add Todd's information there as well. So you'll have a copy of his email and all of his contact information there too. And so I believe right now our last question from Mike, he says, our company, which was ASI, did a trial of the software, and a lot of the additional features were items that were suggested by some of our test users. Can I get a copy of the video download to share with my group and see if interest exists in re-reviewing this platform? So yeah, Mike, so we will be sending out a recording of this. Absolutely, you can share it with whoever you think it would be appropriate for. And then I'll let Todd speak as well on that.
Nope, I'd be happy to. We'll do whatever we can. We really, appreciate another chance to show you our new stuff, because we're always developing and adding new features. That is never going to stop.
All right, last call for questions. Any other questions that our audience wants to have answered?
Again, we truly appreciate your business. I hope to do these, as new features are rolled out, or a few, major versions are rolled out. I plan to do, just one-on-one question answer, and really just, keep you informed and, keep you engaged. And that's really what we want to do, is make sure that you're getting the most out of this solution. And that's really our, thank you for attending today.